but I want to tell you some, as consumers, we're giving a lot of money, lose of time. We've seen movies and they told us that we're about to sell the movie. I've seen a whole lot of bad movies. So we keep going back. But we also have to understand from the consumer point of view. Hollywood makes bad movies also. A lot of bad movies. Yeah, but everybody makes bad movies, but she says something about their audience being overseas rather than in Nigeria. But the thing is that Nigerians who are willing to see Nollywood movies also want to see movies that make sense. Even if it's a low budget movie, but let it have a storyline. I can't be watching a movie and I know the entire movie from the theme song of the movie, like just like 2 minutes to the movie. And you already have that's but those movies are still out there and still out there. So, but I think as regards piracy, we encourage where people like free things. And like when you was saying about music, the thing is that Nigerian music artists don't make money from the sales of CDs. So what they do is that they put out the music for free. Consumers play the music and they get popularity, and corporate bodies pay them for shows and endorsements, and that's how they make their money. Now, with filmmaking is a bit different, because it might be different, but it's also like what happens. Like, we cannot sit in here and pretend there's no Asaba Nollywood. And for people in Asaba Nollywood, they're not really so interested in kind of winning awards. They just want to be able to put out movies, sell movies, be popular. And a lot of some of these actors who appear on Asaba movies, they don't even get paid. They just want to make movies, then go to Abuja, then become big girls. Sorry, but that's how it works. But we need education. We need to educate the public. Filmmakers, it's their right to make sure. I mean, talk to cinema owners. For every Nigerian movie before they play, they should tell us how to buy movies on the street. The bodies, the district bodies should come together. Have officers who go to the streets to seize pirated CDs. I mean, so you don't expect the consumer to go to traffic, then call you, Isioma, oh, your movie is being sold for free. So the filmmakers should come together to say that we don't want our movies to be sold for free or to be done for free. The internet is everywhere, and people want to watch Nigerian movies. That's what a very party or otherwise a shoot to Jamaica. If the movie is good, a movie is bad. What you said earlier on, if we're going to be watching movies based on popular cast, then you guys might as well come together and make one film in a year and do the same cast. Why would we see the same movie with different names and different cast? So, thank you.
In addition to what Moses said about marketing, and he said when they were working on arbitration and when they were a couple of his movies, that part of the marketing strategy we probably engage in is to talk to the actors and actresses and say, utilize your social media platforms, engage your fans, try and get creative, put out the teasers. But it is so disheartening, and this is from personal, professional experience. Actors sign up for a movie. In the contract says you are going to spend 3 months to 5 months on a press store or a marketing campaign process. So it means that you go to radio stations, you go to television stations, you will engage your fans and your audience across your social media platforms, and they just get paid and they disappear. You literally have to crawl, beg, do almost anything to get them to post a trailer, to get them to put something out, to get them to put a poster. You have 1 million followers and you shot a movie. It's to your advantage if you put it out on your social media. It's to your advantage if you tweet it. It's to your advantage if you put it on Facebook and people like it. Instagram is great now because people get to watch 60 seconds of the body of work. But a lot of them, I'm sorry, I don't know if it's a sense of I've done my bit, I've played my part, I've acted, you've paid me, I'm going when it's time for the premiere, I'll try and be available. It shouldn't be about that. You should see the process through.
I think as a talent manager, let me come in, because I have actors now. It's a function of several things, for instance. One of which, as a caveat, my guys do promote their stuff. I can testify that my guys promote their stuff, and that's because I intrinsically you're doing this for the greater good, and it's this to your advantage. But the reason why some actors may not promote their stuff, I'll give you a reason is, one, maybe they weren't paid enough. Rather, not enough. Maybe they were paid very little. Nollywood is not the music industry. The pay is not great.
When your contract
the contract says subject to availability. As a good manager, you make sure that's there, so that you can say, oops, we're not in the country, or oops, not in Lagos. Okay, so you can say promote, but it has to say subject to availability, because you have to understand that this person genuinely may not be available. But the thing also might also be if actors don't feel carried along, or they are not proud of the way the work has done that, because you can read a great script, you can shoot your heart out, and in the edit room something goes horribly wrong, and the film is frankly terrible. And no actor wants to associate with the terrible film. So if you find that they start to understand themselves from it's like, no, this film we are not great. So, but if you get better, if you make better films and you can understand with the actors, offer royalties. Because then when you offer actor royalties or back end, it's almost like they're a producer, because they understand that if this film doesn't sell, I am not going to make any money, so they will push it.
Okay, sorry, I just wanted to just mention the point of piracy, and because of the context of technology that we're talking about, I think that there's one thing you just need to be very careful about. I think there's this saying that we should be social or share, and honestly, if you want to know the amount of YouTube links that we've taken down for the wedding party, I think social media can be a curse and a blessing. I would like to say that business more of a blessing. I guess, we need to be really careful and appreciate what it takes to actually put a piece of, creative work together. And it's important that we, the audience and we, the participants, are not seen to be, cultivating or promoting piracy. It's been really disappointing to see that a lot of people have just found it fine to share or to upload something to it, you upload it and then you share it. I find that very, very funny. Also, I have to credit, this industry going on from nowhere. It's become a real industry without government backing. No matter how much we want to do our best to come together, some of us running cinemas, some of us producing films, at some point we're going to need an enabling environment. At some point we're going to need some legislation. At some point we're going to need some enforcement to make this thing make sense. So it begins with us having the will, it begins with us all we have to come together like people have said. But at some point I'm hoping that through social media as well, we can hold the government to account for why saying this industry has started giving the country a very good name. We're hearing the other day China, doing a piece on the wedding party. My friend Alexandra, was interviewing us about, and I think he's a PhD doctor now, on research on what it's no more about fraudsters, it's no more about 419ers, it's about their creative work. We're in Toronto. So for Christ's sake, if anybody's hearing from the government, for Christ's sake, please take this non-oil sector very, very seriously and start encouraging the young, great minds, that make this a viable, industry for us all to celebrate.
I just want to say that I think it's a bit wrong and short-sighted to assume that piracy works because Nigerians like free things. It's wrong. Piracy works because, number one, pirates get there first. They are available. Number two, it is convenient for people. So you're driving your car, you see the movie, you don't think about it, you buy it. So if we're going to tackle piracy in the future, that's how we need to think. How do we get there first? That's what Apple did in iTunes. And that's how they were able to get everyone to be fine. Musicians, record labels, and everybody. Now, if we're going forward, how do the technology people come in? Start looking at you were saying something really important there, that this internet penetration is there, but people do not necessarily want to use it to pay for films. Outside the countries, we have technology like DigiBoo and all these cool technologies where you have all these kiosks in different places where people with just a basic subscription can go there, plug in their phones and download movies, and then they don't have to pay for internet service or use their internet. So we need to think, how do we make films available for Nigerians? How do we take these films to where they are rather than wait for them to come and buy it? If you're making DVDs and you're putting it in fancy stores, doesn't have to be a giant complex. It doesn't have to be a 300-seater hall. Okay? And that's how you build, you know, the culture, whatever it is you're talking about, gradually. So, no matter how fast you try to have companies, they will keep coming up with new ways. Okay? So, you need to focus on what is important. Getting there first. Reaching the people, you know, that matter when you can. Let's think about it. And finally, I think one of the problems we are having as Africans is we have a copy and paste approach. There is nothing in the Bible, in the world, that says a movie content should be 90 minutes. Who said we can't start figuring out ways to monetize shorter form content? That is media, that is content people want to digest, that is content people want to enjoy. You don't always have to make movies, you don't always have to make 90 minutes, 60 minutes films. Can we come up with interesting ways to monetize short form content so that people don't have to spend much and still enjoy and have the same value? I think going forward, that's the kind of way we should be thinking, you know, in our particular climate, rather than just taking systems that work in the US and just, you know, dumping it on us.
Thank you very much. Very big panel. This has been a very interesting discussion. And on that note, we've come to the end of this panel. I'm very excited and happy that we all showed up here. The discussion doesn't end. You can still follow the discussion on social media by following, and so does the popcorn. You can also